The order of your exercises freaking matter. Always start with the compound movements first. That means the movement that has the most muscle groups involved. To give you an example of what a compound movement is, a bench press would be considered compound. We're working our chest, our shoulder, and our triceps. Since we're using a bunch of muscle groups, we can lift the most weight possible, and we can also target all of those muscle groups with the most weight. So for instance, if you were doing like chest flies to work your chest out, and then you went to go do the bench press, you're not going to be able to hit nearly the amount of weight that you would ever be able to hit. Now, the order in which you want to do your exercises is from most muscle groups to least muscle groups. So let's teach you how to break down that compound movement. So we start with a bench press, which is going to be the most muscle groups in a push day: chest, shoulder, triceps. We're going to start with that. Once we do that, we're then going to go into isolating the chest. So we're going to do our press motions for the chest and then do an isolation for the chest, which would be maybe something like a fly. Then we're going to go to our next biggest compound movement, which would be a shoulder press, right? We're pressing, we're using the shoulder and the tricep. The chest is kind of not involved anymore. Once we finish the shoulder press, well, now we only have shoulder and tricep isolations left. So then we would go into shoulder isolations, and then we'd go into tricep isolation, something like a press down. So you see how we start with the most, and then we slowly trickle down into the isolations. Now it's okay if you don't want to do a push-pull leg type split. You can absolutely do something like an arm day. Just remember, you're going compound to isolation. So you're going to do shoulder presses for those shoulders, and then you're going to go into the bicep curls and the tricep press downs. What you wouldn't want to do is do a bunch of tricep press downs and then try to go back and hit shoulder press. It just would be insane. But order does matter, so make sure you are prioritizing the muscle group you want to grow the most at the beginning of your workout.